Hey YouTube, gonna do a little 2-egg omelet or scramble in my 7.9 inch, and then we'll do another video in the bigger pan. So these are extremely non-stick, just use a little bit of fat. The one caveat though, I make a lot of like egg white McMuffin things in this little ring. The one thing I noticed, because there's no fat in egg whites, so egg whites are a little tough. They do stick, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I did learn you want to use, so I use this little egg ring, and on the smaller burner it's just too concentrated. The heat's just way too concentrated right there, so it'll burn, it'll stick. Come over to your bigger burner, see how the heat really isn't on here. The heat is on the outside and kind of working its way in, and they come out pretty good that way. So I'll just do that, pour my egg whites in there, have it on low, I have a little aluminum dome over it, and they seem pretty good. So I just wanted to point that out. Egg whites are the only thing I have a little bit of trouble with, just because there's absolutely zero fat in them, and I don't use a ton of butter or oil when I cook. So this was preheating, I turned it off. Let's come over here to medium-low heat. Like I said, this was probably preheating for 3-4 minutes. It's 270 degrees. So let that go for a minute. What we're gonna do is, this is half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, half a teaspoon of clarified butter, ghee, you can use whatever. Let me keep going on that. Let me get a spatula.
Hate the eggs.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in half a teaspoon of the ghee. Roll that around, and these pans get extremely hot. Like medium low is probably too hot already, and that you can even use way less than that. I thought that was a little amount, but I guess not. So you can even cut that, go to an 8 teaspoon in this pan. Okay, so we're preheated good enough. Come over here. Got 2 eggs in there. Yep. Nothing else, no milk, no butter, no nothing. Got our little sizzle on. Watch that for a minute. And the thing with eggs, got to keep them on low, and don't mess with them. Let them set up and let the pan do the work. Like watching paint dry over here. I might get antsy just because we're on film here. Come over here, peel the cooked part away, let the uncooked part set up. Come over on this side, let that set up. Yep, these pans heat up very, very quick, probably in half the time of cast iron. Cook just as good, lighter, and they get extremely hot too. So medium heat is basically high heat with your other pans. Okay, let's see if we can do a flip here. Okay, I'm not a professional, first time attempting this. Oh, good enough. There we go, turn the heat off. All the residual heat in there. Let's see what the temperature was. So 235. And then, let me grab a plate. Right there. And there you go. And then the beauty of these, I'll use a dirty napkin, but as if this were clean and as if this were over the sink. Come over in here. What I do, so this pan's, you just saw 200 degrees. Wipe all the oil all around it. It's clean, good to go. And then I pop it in the oven, just because some OCD like that, just to get a better seasoning. Oven's completely off, just so it holds the heat longer and kind of adheres to seasoning. Okay, I'll be back to cook on that. Do a maiden voyage on the 11-inch pan. Gonna do fried egg. Never been cooked in. Just did the seasoning. I have it on my largest burner, all the way on low, as low as it can go. You don't want to cook eggs very high. So what I'm gonna do, I have a little bit more than a half teaspoon of clarified butter here. Put it in while the pan's heating it up. It's been heating for a minute or so, but I want to get the butter hot with the pan. Okay. As you can see, not very hot. And I'm going to let that go for, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. Let that heat up with the pan. Okay, it's been a couple minutes of the butter heating up in there. The pan, 260 degrees or so. Let's see how this goes. The more butter and everything you use, you can get it hotter because it's going to cook immediately. But if you're not using very much fat, then you want the temperature much lower. So when you do see people on YouTube frying eggs, if you do them in a ton of butter, yeah, you can do it on medium, so instantly. But if you did that without much butter in the pan, it would just burn and stick to it. So let that go, let that set up. See if you can see that. My oven isn't all that level, so I'm gonna kind of move the pan a little bit. And just see how we're doing here. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing fried eggs just because there's no fat out here, so it's gonna stick on a newer pan. Once you cook with it 6 months, you'll be fine. But there's just zero fat out here. Doing scramble, yeah, way fine because the fat's mixed in there. But I'm just doing this to show. See what happens, real life. I'm gonna flip this over. Or I mean just the sides, just to cook in there. Again, I wouldn't do a fried egg on a brand new pan. Just because unless you're gonna use a ton of butter. But I'm doing, real life cooking, I wouldn't use all that much. It's gonna be like watching paint dry. Okay, let's see if we can, I'll let it go for a minute more. Okay, so just for dramatic effect, let's see. There you go. Super low heat, and in real life, you'd want to let it set up a lot longer. But I'm not going to make you, sit here for 5 minutes. Let's see if I can flip it. I'm not a professional by any means. Oh no, good as I can get. I'll let that set up, get that hard, and see if I can flip it back for you, but I'm not going to make you watch it.